Welcome to episode 21 of Trail Times podcast with Big Bear Events. First one of 2026, off the back of the Crocodile Challenge that we held on Friday. I'm recording this on Sunday night. Excellent event, all went really well. I did get some clips from the event, so we'll go to those straight away. We are back at events for the first time now in 2 months. We are back here at Ryton Pools Country Park, the home of Big Bear Events, sort of. It's where we started anyway. Always good to be back here, always a little bit manic because we haven't done it for 2 months, so we sort of forget just little things, but they all add up when you're pushed for time anyway. And it's the only place where I can't get into early. So normally I turn up really early, put up loads of the flags and get gazebos out and things, which just gives us a bit of a head start. But this is the only place you can't do it, and we're all a little bit rusty, so it always makes it a bit manic. And we always get really good numbers here as well, which is good. But it's just a short little bit just before everybody starts. You can see the car parks filling up. The beauty of this event is that if you do leave stuff in your boot, that is the route you can see, and that is, well, most of the car park. The rest of the car park you can see just over my shoulder there in the distance. But we love it here. Should have about 120 people, I think, probably. Obviously I'll know in later clips, but we're going to get started in about 10 minutes. Hopefully, as I've been saying for however many episodes it's been, I'll get some clips chatting to people. I will get you clips chatting to people. 3, 2, 1. Have fun, everybody! We're about an hour in now. Lots of people done their first laps, people coming in to do their second laps. Everything's set up really nicely, everything's working. If you're watching this, you can see I've got the hood up. We've got a little bit of rain, not loads, but just enough to be irritating. To be honest, if you're running, it's just the perfect amount. I'd suggest that just cools you down a little bit without getting you absolutely soaking wet. But unfortunately my kit just gets wet, so it makes no difference to me. But good for the runners, which is obviously the main thing. Lots of new people. I was trying to do a bit of a head count at the beginning as to how many new people, or how many people put their hand up when I asked if it was they're new to Big Bear. I reckon there was 20 at least that were brand new to Big Bear, which is excellent, obviously, because without having brand new people, businesses don't last very long, so you've got to keep having new people coming in. But then obviously there are people that were here from day one as well, 9 years ago, which is superb. I mean, that's obviously what you want as well, so you've got to have both ends of the spectrum. As people start to finish, I'll start to try and chat to them. As some people come in that I can run along with and try and have a little chat with, I'll have a little chat with them as well. We'll get some more clips, hopefully from a slightly drier Ryton Pools throughout the day. How are we getting on?
We're 2 down in an hour and a quarter.
Yeah.
So it's pretty decent out there at the minute.
On plan?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
What are you going for?
Well, Elaine's doing a half.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and stick with her as much as I can. Yeah. And then I'm going to carry on until...
I'm holding up now. Come on, let's walk.
Until you tell me to go home.
Excellent. How many Big Bears you done?
This is my second.
Excellent.
Is that all you've done?
Yeah.
And you're one of the...
No, it could be third actually, because I did done a 10k, but this is the second 6-hour job.
Excellent. Right, I'm holding you up now, so you carry on.
Thank
right,
you.
See you guys.
It's good to be back.
Hang on, you got to wait for it to turn on. Like, so keen, so
I
keen.
haven't got my glasses on.
Okay,
so
that's
cue me. Am I
that's
supposed
fine.
to be running then?
No, you're not meant to be running. Otherwise, it's me slowing you down.
Okay, so we're in to go.
Right. Anyway, so Sheila, how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you.
What have you taken from the A station?
Not one, but 2 Jaffa
Two Jaffa cakes. So when we run out, we'll be blaming you when we run out of Jaffa cakes. Excellent.
Yes, but I'm worth it.
Excellent. And so you've run one lap pretty quick, and then you're going to walk a couple, walk one?
I've ran one, walked the second lap, I'm on my 3rd lap, and I'm going for a brisk walk.
Excellent.
When I finish my picnic.
Yeah, well, you finish your picnic, and then you carry on with your walk.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Right, go on, Sheila.
I will walk up this bit every time.
No, it's good. Well, yeah, but if you run up it, I think it's silly. It's one of these bits where I think you save more energy by walking than you gain by the running. How's your day going?
Good, not a bad way to spend a grey day.
How many, you've done this one most years, right?
Yeah.
How many,
Well, I don't
do you
know. I don't know, I think it's my 4th or 5th time.
Okay.
Not quite as many as Paul.
No, he was here on the first one, yeah?
Yeah.
He won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very proud.
Yeah.
He tells me every time we come.
Oh, good. I'm sure that doesn't get annoying. Right, I'll let you carry on.
Thanks.
We're with Brian. You did the first one 9 years ago, yeah?
9 years ago.
Done everyone since, I think?
Yeah, I think everyone here.
Yeah.
This is my nearest one to Leamington.
Yeah.
Apart from the one you did at Roald Common.
Yeah, you know, in your back garden. Yeah. Well, we won't be going back there again.
Oh.
Yeah, going all right?
Tired.
On for the marathon again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Haven't run really properly since November, so
Oh, since our last one?
yeah, basically.
Nice.
Been ticking over, but that's about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right, no more excuses. Keep going.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Brian has run at pretty much every 6-hour event we've done. Was here at the first one, has been at, yeah, like I say, nearly every single one. Maybe bar 3 or 4. So he's done about 70 odd with us. Absolute legend. You're joining us for the first time. You're raising money for the Roald Dahl's
Yes.
children's.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've come to this event via the charity rather than the other way around, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Camilla approached us to come and do the event, which was, yeah, it's fun.
So you've done other fundraising for them before?
No, we're doing the London Landmarks Half Marathon in April, so this was like a bit of practice.
Excellent. So you're using it as a training run.
Yeah.
Go and do that, raise some money,
Yeah.
have some fun on a
Have some fun, yeah.
wet
And the
Friday.
Best apple juice ever.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice apple juice. It's good. Yeah. Nearly halfway through Crocodile Challenge. As you can see behind me, A station is in full effect. You can also see the hoods come down. Stopped raining-ish. Very, very, very light drizzle. You can see an expertly behaved dog there. It's Emily's dog, always very well behaved. And yeah, event's going really, really well. It's amazing to see all these Roald Dahl's Marvellous Children's Charity t-shirts out as well. Lots of fundraising. I don't know exactly what we've earned or raised yet, but by the time I put this together I will. But I think it's been really successful actually. It's just nice to do something for charity that means that people can come and run who wouldn't have got spaces otherwise. The charity raises money. Doesn't impact you if you're not raising money for charity, but if you are raising money, brilliant. Which is just the way I want to do it. I don't want people feeling that they have to raise money for charity. This is a running or running, walking, whatever event fundamentally, but if we can raise some money as well, that's great. When I popped over last time, I think we've had £100 of donations on the day as well, which is just excellent. It's money that they wouldn't have got, which they've got, and it's just a really nice way to support a charity that looks after really, really sick kids. So can't really ask for more than that. It was a great day had by all. Really, really, really good event. And we always start, I say always, we pretty much always start at Wright & Paul's Country Park. It's how we start every year. This is where we've had our first event, the Big Bear Challenge, in 2018. We had 50 people there. As I said during those clips, Brian was one of the people there. He's been an ever-present. I will have to look up his stats in a minute if I take a pause in this, and I'll find out how many events he has done. I think he's only missed 5 or so of our 6-hour events. He doesn't do the 10Ks, has done marathons at pretty much all of those. I think he's up to 175, maybe getting to 200 marathons now. Yeah, just top bloke. Luckily lives around the corner, so all the events are close to him, but he really gets it, and yeah, really good to have him there, and nice to get him on camera as well. Good to hear from Chris as well, from Daventry Roadrunners. Always get loads of good support from the Roadrunners. I help them a little bit by going over and doing some of their timing at their track sessions. When they do 5Ks, I go over with the timing kit and give everybody a chip, and they run, and I log their laps, and it just makes it a little bit easier to do like a time trial 5k for the club, and like I say, they support my events really, really well. They have done from the off. When we go for the Squirrel Challenge at Daventry Country Park in just over a week, they'll be there in numbers, and they'll come out and support their club mates as well. It's a really, really nice little club. And then also hearing from Sheila. Sheila's had, won't go into her in details, but a pretty rough year. So we've not seen her for a year. So it's brilliant to have Sheila back with us. Sheila wasn't there right at the start, but we were chatting, and we think her first events were 2019. So I mean, it's pretty much from the start. Comes down from sort of Nottingham sort of way. So can't get to all of them because it is a little bit further to come. But supports them really, really well, so it's nice to see. And Katie, as she mentioned there, Paul did win our first event, so our first ever event, the inaugural winner of any of our events, and from memory he did 40 miles, I think. So I think he did 12 laps at that first event. Not the course record anymore, obviously was the course record for the first time. Dan Clark has the male course record at 14 laps, which is 46 miles, I think, off the top of my head, which is pretty good going. That's only one course, I think, has a higher course record than that in terms of distance, and that's Rugby. That's the overall Big Bear record of 52 miles. That's 16 laps, and I think the finish time is something like 6 hours 17, I think, something like that. Andrew Siggers, phenomenal athlete. I don't think that will ever get beaten. I don't think the distance will ever get beaten. The time, maybe, but I can't see somebody coming in 20 minutes earlier than that to then go out and do a 17th lap, because that would be insane. Sub 3 hour marathons back to back sort of thing, that would be pretty crazy. And the female course record for Wrighton Pools, I'm jumping all over the place here, but the female course record for Wrighton Pools is held by Kelsey, 12 laps. Hopefully we'll see her back at event soon so that she can get back to her running ways as well. So yeah, it's really nice to see people out. Lovely to see people again that I've not seen for years, like Sheila, or for a year like Sheila, or for a few months like everybody else, where effectively we go into hibernation from sort of the end of November to beginning of Feb, end of January. And when you go back to the end, I always finish in November. I'm like, I've got 2 months off. 2 months goes really, really quickly, because I go and work down on the Winter Downs 200 as well, so that takes a bit of time up. As soon as you then have like a week of downtime, and then all the Christmas stuff, and then the actual Christmas break, and then suddenly it's January, and then back to events again. So that time goes really quickly, and I always think, I should probably put an event in because it's a big gap. But then when you come to do events in January, and it's just got sunny, or say sunny, the light has just come up, just as we're about to start sort of unloading everything, I then remember why we don't do events later. The latest the closest I ever got to, I guess, like the winter equinox, we had an event on the 9th of December, I think, at Sence Valley Country Park, and we had to pack away in the dark. I'm not doing that again. I don't want to be packing away in the dark. Luckily, that was quite a sunny day from memory, and so we had as much brightness as you were possibly going to get. But on a cloudy, gloomy day, that would have been a bit of a disaster. So that's why I have that big break over the winter, and it gives me a bit of a chance to refresh, to just get jobs done. Although if you can, I don't know how much of the office you can really see behind me, but it's an absolute bomb site, so I didn't quite get to that in 2 months. So one of the jobs for next week is to tidy up, which is really boring, but it's the boring life that I lead. I mentioned in those clips as well the fundraising. So it's the Crocodile Challenge. If you've done quite a few of the events, you'll know that the events, they're all named after animals, really, because they are essentially non-gendered. They don't really come with baggage, and so hopefully everybody thinks, I'll go and do a badger challenge. That can't really mean anything. It doesn't mean super macho, and it doesn't mean soft and fluffy. It's just an animal. That's how I see it. Hopefully that's how others see it as well. But I try to get animals that are actually relevant to where we are as well, or relevant to what we're doing. So like the bat challenge is at night when bats come out. The swan challenge is where there's lots of water, things like that. Obviously, there's no crocodiles at Wright and Paul's Country Park. As far as I'm aware, there's never been crocodiles at Wright and Paul's Country Park, but tell me if I'm wrong. However, this was the fundraising event that we've held in partnership with Roald Dahl's Marvellous children's charity. They are an incredible charity that put specialist nurses into hospitals to look after seriously ill children. You can't really get much more sort of noble and deserving than that. And it's the first time I've ever done anything with a charity. I'm really sort of keen and hot on the fact that these are running events. I say running, walking, hiking, they're moving events that are for the love of doing that. They are not for fundraising. So I sort of hark back to when my mum did her first ever 10k, and it was put on by a charity, and like the entry fee was quite high from memory. Be like, okay, it's going to charity, that's absolutely fine. But they just kept hounding for fundraising, and I fully appreciate, without the fundraising, these charities don't happen. The amazing things they do don't happen. However, I think that running and fundraising can be two completely separate things. I don't think you have to do one. The amount of people that see us when we are in the parks on a Wednesday and we've got the events on or whatever it is, and so many sort of members of the public are, who are you fundraising for? It's like, well, no, we're just out running. So I'm really, really keen to have them separate. However, the opportunity arose. Essentially, Camilla from the charity contacted me. Her brother does ultras and so on. I was like, could we do something? I thought, well, yeah, why don't we try something? So the idea, essentially, is that on every single event entry, there's a box asking you if you'd like to donate. You don't have to at all. I think it's pre-filled. Right, it's not you don't have to opt out, but it's sort of like starts at a £5, is like suggested, and people donate whatever they want. I think that's how it's set up. And also, when you sign up, you can sign up to sort of have your email address passed on to them to find out about stuff that they're doing. They get London Marathon places. They get it's called the Super 6. I don't know the full details, but I was chatting to somebody that's doing it who was running, and it's sort of 6 half marathons across Europe, and it sounds really quite cool. So I think it's Lisbon, Berlin, a sunny one, I want to say Valencia, Cardiff, not quite as nice as Valencia, I would have thought, but it's a good half marathon from all I've heard. And there's 6 of them anyway, and they fundraise through that, and they do loads of other things. Anyway, so you can find out about that. So we do the fundraising through donations on entry for all the events, pass on details for potentially future fundraising, and then this event was sort of the big charity event of the year. So I gave the charity 30 places, and I said, right, these are your places. If you can give them to people that are doing other challenges with you through the year, but it's a good way to get them all together, give them to those people. If you can give them to people that just want to fundraise for this, brilliant, give them to those people. And also, the reason I picked this event to do it was specific, because this event sells out every single time. If I do an event at the end of February, end of January, I know it's going to sell out. And so if it's going to sell out, it means I'm going to get a waiting list, and it means that we can then offer charity places to that waiting list. And I was right, it sold out. I think early December, maybe it sold out. So it sold out really, really early. And so I was emailing the waiting list saying, you can take these places. There's sort of 10, 15 places left on the waiting list. If you'd like them, contact Camilla and she'll sort it out for you. That worked pretty well, but I had a waiting list of about 50 people, and around 40 people didn't take places on the waiting list, which is crazy. I mean, that is sort of the way waiting lists work, is that you look at a great big waiting list, you think, money in the bank, excellent. And then when you come to actually offer people places, they don't take them, which I find an odd way of doing things. I understand it. You know, if you put your name on the waiting list and then 2 months later you get offered a place, things change. I get that. But there were one or two, like at the last minute, where I had a place left, and so I saw their name come onto the waiting list. I sent them a place, I don't know, 20 minutes later, and they didn't take it. So that one seemed strange to me. But it is what it is. So we had around 25 people who took places from the charity that I donated to the charity, and there's no minimum fundraising target. So it wasn't London Marathon. It's not come and raise $3,000 because I've charged the charity £1,500 for a place. That's not the maths. I've given those places to the charity, and so they're already free. So as long as you fundraised like the ticket price, so £44, so as long as you got to that, anything extra is bonus. You're not cheating me out of a place, you're not cheating somebody else out of a place, you're raising money for charity. Happy days, right? Excellent. And so we set that up, and also I'm from the money that's come in from the income of the event, I'm donating 7.5% of the entry fees to the charity as well. So that is a sort of 3-pronged attack, I think, on fundraising. Multi-pronged. We'll call it multi-pronged. And so we went into the day, and I knew we'd obviously done these places, right? So I sort of knew we were going to get, some money. I obviously knew what I was going to be donating, pretty much. But I was blown away by how much we've actually raised. So this is, I think, at least because of the way that things refresh overnight and so on, I think that these numbers can only go up. So through people's Just Giving pages, we've raised £3,100 for the charity. So that's amazing. So that's from people not connected to Big Bear, I assume, who've donated to people's Just Giving pages, which is incredible. We had £250 of donations on the day. So Camilla was there with her gazebo and stuff that you can see if you're watching this, and essentially having the what do you call them, like the charity box and a card machine, £250. So that's brilliant. Thank you very much. And then from the event as well that I'll be putting forward, there's £300 of fee going there as well. So just from the event, there's a minimum of £3,600 that has been raised from the event that we held on Friday. Incredible. And since we've been fundraising with them, which I think off the top of my head is going to be from roughly last Easter, I think, because it would have been when we launched the Crocodile Challenge. I think it was about last Easter. But from last Easter, we've had another £700 raised from other Just Giving pages for other events, and £687 of donations when people have signed up to other events. So it means that you've signed up to Trailfest Salty Forest and you've bought your half marathon place and you've said, oh, here's another £5 for the charity. That £5 that doesn't come to me in any sense at all. That goes directly to the charity, so there's no fees really attached to that. Well, there's no fees attached to that at all. It goes straight to them. I don't see it, I don't hold on to it. Doesn't pass my books at all. That just goes straight to them. So we've raised over £5,000, which blows my mind. When we first started doing this, and I was speaking to the charity, they sort of were saying, we'll raise this and we'll raise that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want you getting your hopes up, as it were. But it's been incredible. Absolutely incredible. So we will do something very, very similar next year. There will be a Crocodile Challenge next year. I should have explained as well. The reason for the Crocodile, I'll see if I've got the medal here with me. The reason for the Crocodile Challenge is because, so if you watch him, you can see the medal. The crocodile that we've used, or that I've used when I've designed the medal, is Marvin from a Roald Dahl book that I should probably know. I think it's Marvin's Marvellous Medicine, maybe, something. I've got that wrong. I should go back and edit it out, but I can't be bothered. But this is the artwork, so that's the crocodile that we've used, and then on the lanyard obviously we've got stuff from the charity as well. But that is why it's the Crocodile Challenge, because it's part of the charity. But it's absolutely incredible. Just so pleased to be able to put an event on like that, where it can just raise money for charity, and it's not detracted from anybody else. We weren't, in your face with card machines trying to get donations. It was none of that at all. If you wanted to interact with them, you could do, just completely up to you. And it's really, really changed my outlook on it, I suppose, because I don't want people to feel harassed to raise money. And I've seen that. I see that personally in all walks of life, whether it's running or just walking around, or people coming and knocking on your door at 8 o'clock at night trying to sort of get donations. And I don't want that. So really, really, really successful. We'll continue to fundraise through the year with them, like I said, with the donations on each event. And we will have, I would imagine, in my head, we're going to have the same event next year, the Crocodile Challenge at Wright & Pauls Country Park. It'll be the first event we do next year, and we'll do a very similar setup. So really, really good. And just a day that was absolutely perfect. So in terms of the running, what I did, or in terms of the actual event, what I did say at the end of the last event, or the last podcast as well, was that what I wanted to do was to try and get some stats, so that at the end of the year I could then do like a Spotify wrapped type thing for Big Bear events. I can't give you your individual Big Bear, I can't think of anything clever off the top of my head, but like a Big Bear wrapped, I don't have the computing capacity, time, or ability to do that. But I can do one for the wider business. So some of the stats that I've been trying to look for. So the number of starters, 134. The average age of people that signed up was 47.95. That's 48. The time of the first finisher was bang on 35 minutes. The time of the last finisher was 6 hours and 34 minutes. Total distance covered, 2,630. Numbers of Jaffa cakes eaten. Right, Sheila had 2. Was 144. I say we ran out of Jaffa cakes. I'll get more Jaffa cakes next time, because there weren't Jaffa cakes left at the end of the event. Bottles of Coke was low. That was only 9. So I'm going to try and collate some of these stats so that at the end of the year we can see which was the event with the most amount of Jaffa cakes eaten, and so on and so on. But just loads of really, really cool stories. Another, I guess, 2 sort of highlights for me, or 2 bits that I picked out. So we had Catherine, if you look at some of the photos, and I'll probably do a post about this later in the week as well, because I thought it was brilliant. But Catherine was, I think, in the last week of her maternity leave, she was running with her little daughter, and she was running with her in the world's best buggy, an out and about nipper. So she was running with her in the buggy, and she had to stop, change, feed, do all this stuff while she was out running. Brilliant, loved it. The daughter was, well, she said she was getting grumpy. She seemed happy the whole time that she was near us. And then she did 2 laps, I think, pushing in the buggy, and then did a lap with her on her back, with an umbrella above. Brilliant photo. Umbrella above, baby on the back, in one of those amazing backpacks that I used to love carrying mine in. It's just excellent. It's exactly what I want to have, right? It's having people coming out, doing things. And I think she's trying to get, I think Catherine ran quite a bit before pregnancy, I want to say, from what I remember of my conversations. And she's sort of getting back into the swing of it. And it's brilliant. And our events allow her to do that, because there's no pressure on cut-offs or finishing or holding somebody up. And you've got the 5k lap, which means that she can go back to the toilets to change quite easily. And keep all the sort of stuff in the back of the car to do changing, rather than having to carry it with her, and she's only a few moments away from it, so it just works really, really well. And I did get I took a cracking picture on my phone because she left her daughter sitting in the bag drop while she was sorting bits out, which did look quite funny, of just a baby in the middle of the bag drop. So that was good. And then, I mean, to be honest, what stole the show somewhat was Alicia's dog. So we have Canicross at this event. It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, it's perfect Canicross weather. But she's got I don't want to get this too wrong, but I believe it's a German Shepherd, but it's white. So I don't know how rare that is, but it's very striking, the dog, because it's a great big white dog. When I see it, it brings back sort of Game of Thrones and the big wolf type setting. That's what I see. But obviously it's not a wolf. I believe it's a German Shepherd, but it's this great big white dog, incredibly sort of timid and well-mannered. Not the right term, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not a super big aggressive German Shepherd. I don't think it would be like guarding houses particularly well. Just really nice dog. But it's so big and so white, and it was so filthy. And the pictures of the dog, I think we've got some at the beginning where it's white, and then the picture at the end, it's just like its whole sort of underbelly is just brown. So I'd imagine trying to clean the dog would have been an absolute nightmare. But it's just such a beautiful dog to see out running, and the photos we've got of it are just outstanding, I think. As always, outstanding photos for everybody to look at as well. But just all in all, a cracking day, a really, really good start to 2026. And nobody really saw this apart from the people that were helping, so thank you very much for those that were helping as well. But the only thing that went wrong is the pump for my finisher's arch that we have at the finish line. The pump broke at the end, which doesn't sound too bad. You know, it's already up. But you need to essentially turn the pump round to deflate it, because getting all that air out, if you just sort of like put your finger in it it's like a Schroeder valve or whatever it is. If you sort of have to get all the air out, you need to suck the air out. You can't just let it come out on its own. So we then had to get a half deflated finish arch that was covered in mud, so I've got to go and wash it at some point this week, in the back of the van. And so that wasn't really the best finish to the day. And I said on I think on Instagram or something that you'll be fine in trail shoes, or you'll be fine in road shoes. It's a little bit grubby, so don't wear white. Never wear white. Don't bring a white dog either, because that'll just get just as filthy. But apparently some of the course did get a bit churned up, but I think it was sort of alright, most of the course for road shoes. But the worst bit was the aid station. So where we are at, or where we've always been at Ryton Pools, is on a slope, and it's on grass, and we're quite close to this. So you've got to go down this slope. And so some people, nobody fell over. The only person that fell over was one of our volunteers, who fell over, taking down that that finish arch, literally the last thing to go in, and she fell down, and it really hurt. So I'm really sorry, Vicky, because I don't want you falling over and hurting yourself and getting filthy. But she said she's all right, so that's good. But nobody else fell over as far as I saw, because I was very, very worried somebody was going to come in, go too fast, fall flat on their ass, and just plough into the aid station, which I don't think I'd have found funny at the time, and I don't think I'd be finding it funny quite yet either, because I just had this vision of just like all the food and all the kit just going everywhere. But other than that, a really good day. Great to be back at it. 2026 is going to be a busy year. We've got extra events on this year compared to last year. We've got a new venue for Trailfest, so I'm assuming if you got this far in the podcast or on YouTube, you get the email, so you'll see we're going to Holdenby House. Brand new venue for us. Only has like one event there that it's only had for 1 year. I think they're coming back in 2026, but it's only ever held sort of one event, so it's a brand new venue for everyone. It's pretty much all on private land as well, so it's paths and trails that nobody's ever really been along. The other event that is there is only I think it's only a 5k, and the 10k is 2 laps of the 5k. So we're using a 10k route, which means that even if you were there for that event, we're using different bits of the estate, and so it's all brand new. So I'm really excited about that. I know people love Cannock Chase, I love Cannock Chase, but for many pretty much boring logistical reasons, it's difficult for me to put that event on. I do like it there, so it's not, we'll never go back, but Holdemy House, 20 minutes from home, private estate that essentially I could go and mark a week before. It's just so much easier, so much more contained and better. Really frustrating that I've organised it on the same day as the Northamptonshire half, or the amazing Northampton half, whatever it's called. That's a bit of a balls up on my part, but we live, we learn, never mind. Next year it will probably be a different time of year anyway. The reason it's going into the September slot is because I sorted it out quite late in the year, so that's why it's going there. So it might change for next year. I don't want to clash with events. It's impossible to get like your own weekend just because there's too many events on, but having 2 half marathons within 10 miles of each other isn't the most sensible of ideas, but we'll go over that. Next event, Squirrel Challenge. I'm going to check as I talk to see if it has sold out yet. We had very few places left when I looked before. We still have 1 place left. Unbelievable. We've not had 1 entry. I had loads of entries all week, but we've not had that 1 entry from Friday onwards. So by the time you're watching or listening to this, I'd assume that place will go and you need to jump on the waiting list, but there's 1 place left. If you're going to be at the National Running Show, I will be there very quickly on Saturday morning, because I need to get back to watch my daughter play football in a big cup game that she's in, so I need to watch that. I can't go on the Sunday because my kids have football on the Sunday as well, because my whole weekend is about taking my children to football, which is why I put events on during the week. And I know I'm not the only one who has a similar sort of life, and so these weekday events will always be the core of what we do. Thanks very much for listening to me ramble on. I'll be doing more of these. I'll be doing this all year. I'm going to try and do more of them on top of just the event stuff as well. When I sort the mess out that is this office, I'm going to try and have the recording stuff set up all the time so I can do stuff quickly, rather than making it a massive process that I've got to do late at night when no one else is in here. So I'm going to try and make this smoother so we get more of these out. But thank you very much. If you've got this far, you're obviously a super fan, so please tell your friends, tell your club mates, tell anybody that will listen. Come to Big Bear events, sign up, come and enjoy yourselves, and I will see you on a start line soon.
Here comes the bass.